So the solar panels are mounted. It's time to tackle installing the insulation and paneling on the ceiling. It was pointed out to me on the last video that I made showing the insulation and paneling of the walls that I didn't mention what insulation I'm using. It's there we go. It's a Durafoam 1-inch foam board by Plastifab. That's very good stuff to work with, easy to install, should be pretty effective. So anyway, time to get to work. So I had to make a mounting strip for the rear because we've got the roof bows to mount the paneling to, but right in the back there was no roof bow, so I had to make a mounting strip there and cut it with an arch to match the roof bows. Alright, so that's the ceiling insulated. Wasn't any special problems other than Vino's was a little bit tricky, but I was able to use some scraps for that to fit in there. Actually used foam board bonding cement in there. Other than that, everything's friction fit. Didn't need adhesives, but anyway, so that's done. So it's on to the paneling. Okay, so this next panel had to be cut out for the vent. Okay, so I've got the hole cut out for that. So what I decided to do, since I probably will be putting a 12-volt fan in that vent hole, I decided to pre-wire. So I got the wires buried in the ceiling. So we'll be having that hooked up to the electrical in the front, so when I get the fan, all I have to do is just hook into the wires and won't have to do any panel removing to do the wiring. Also need a shim plate because the vent is recessed up in there about a ½ an inch, so I got some ½ inch plywood here. I made the shim plate. I think probably what I'm going to do is cut a channel through here for the wiring to go through, the fan wiring. And yeah, so that's this afternoon's project. Alright, the ceiling is done. The tricky parts were the roof vent and the V-nose. V-nose is maybe a little bit rough looking, but doesn't really matter because there will be a partition and that will be sectioned off there, so it's not really going to show anyway. But it's all insulated, closed in, PVC 1.5" strips, trim strips to close the joints. Seems to look alright, so anyway, that's it for this part of the project.